Hello and welcome to the Party Dungeon. This is Dungeon Party. As always, I'm your DM, Hogan from Hogan's Heroes. And this is Dungeon Party. Yes. Did I do that right? I don't know. Your cast will be joining us shortly, but first a couple of announcements and a recap. First announcement, thank you so much to our 4 Patreon patrons. Elliot, Nick, Big Money, and Tom the Lich. You guys are the bomb.com. Literally. You're a website about being cool. If you are interested in becoming a patron, getting all the sweet, sweet rewards that come with being a patron, only one of which is a shout out at the beginning of every episode, check the link in our description down below to our Patreon page. It's pretty dang cool. Also down there is the like button. Click it and this video will be more visible. The subscribe button's there too. You could click it and become one of our over 100 subscribers. Wow! Yeah, that is right. We broke 100 subscribers yesterday. Technically today as I'm filming this, but when this comes out, yesterday, we broke 100 subscribers. It took us a little over a year to do that, which is longer than I would have liked, but it's an exciting thing either way. We're gonna have a 100 subscriber special coming out pretty soon. We have to film it. We're gonna film it in a couple weeks, so it's gonna be a little while before it comes out, but it's gonna be a goddamn doozy. In essence, what we're gonna do is start at level 1. All the characters are gonna start at level 1, and in order to level up, they are gonna have to take a shot. So it's gonna be a messy episode of Dungeon Party as the content gets harder, and they're gonna have to continue to take shots to level up if they want to, and if they die, they have to take a shot to make a new character. So it'll be a wild, wacky, crazy time, and you should keep your eye out for it because it's gonna be super great. And it's a big thank you for all 100 subscribers we have. Next up, 200 subscribers. If we reach 200 subscribers, we will, I'm making this promise right now, write and record our own theme song. You heard me. That's gonna happen. So get us there if you want to see that. It's gonna be something. Anyway, thank you to all the people who subscribe to us. You're really awesome, and we couldn't be here without you. That's it for announcements. Next up is the recap. So last episode, they were told by Samuel, the boy, in the bar, the golden-haired boy, not to sleep too soundly that night. After which, Luva broke out some pipe weed and they had a party. They went to sleep. In the middle of the night, we're woken up by a scream coming from, you guessed it, Luva's house. As they went over there, they saw some vampire spawn who worked for Ryland Sangwith attacking her home. Old Man McKilligutty was killed. Flora was injured but still fighting. She actually did some really cool stuff in that fight. But before the end of the fight, the giant bat creature landed, destroyed part of Luva's house, killed a vampire, and flew off with Luva as though beckoned away by some sort of unseen force. So that happened, and then the fight ended, and that's pretty much where we left off, as they made a plan to sneak their way into Remelas, the base of Ryland Sangwith and his side of the Vampire Civil War, the Dusk War, which is the name of it. I always forget, but that's what it's called. Anyway, that's where we left off, so please enjoy that. And if you don't, well, that's fine. It's okay if you don't, because we all have different interests. But I'm gonna leave now and edit the episode you're about to watch. So wish me luck. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye.
Is this really what we're going to do?
I think the DM suggested it a few sessions ago, but we went shopping.
Hey, I also suggested shopping.
Well, I mean, if you have any other ideas, it's a wide world out there. And about 3 or 4 square miles has been planned, so you can't get that far.
Thuvius, did this guy...
Nero Athalme.
He did say...
I'm gonna keep bastardizing this character.
Did he say to...
Nick Cheney will be real happy with it.
Sorry.
Did he say to, like, he would help us get in later?
He specifically told me not to do what I'm doing right now. Explicitly. Don't fly a banner, but I blocked a banner. Don't fly a banner of Ryan Sangweth and go make parlay with the vampires. That was specifically, explicitly, don't do that.
Yep.
So I think
we do that.
I think we do that. We're gonna need a few things. Nate can't be looking like a paladin when we show up. We're gonna need some like you'll probably be okay. You'll probably be okay. This will be all right. We gotta make sure Nate isn't like walking in with a holy symbol exposed. That would be bad. You too. Don't.
Find me some dwarf-sized clothing.
Yeah, just cover up the.
So
I'll put
Remelas
some burlap over my armor.
Yeah.
So Remelas, just as a reminder, it's not a city of vampire. It's just
It's
run
a city
by.
that has been taken over by one of the leaders of the two sides of the Dusk.
But there's still like normal citizens.
You don't know. People haven't been there since he took it over.
Valid.
It's like the stronghold of one side of the armies.
Okay. Oh
If we fail, if we mess up even a little, we're probably all dead.
Dead.
Oh, and we gotta bring the wizard, the other wizard,
There's another wizard?
Henrietta.
Who's
We
that?
gotta bring Henrietta with us.
Well, we just
The woman of our dreams.
Who is she?
We got a
Henrietta's,
friend. She's good with the magic and
What kind of magic does she do?
with animation things.
Like puppets?
To some extent, I mean, yeah,
What are you
it's
talking about?
generally, yeah. She has puppets to follow her to some extent.
What sort of puppets?
She raises the dead.
Yep, can't bring her.
Now, come on, she's trustworthy.
She points at her symbol. We fight undead at all costs. Do you think I'm gonna parlay with a necromancer to go into a vampire city?
Well, you're about to parlay with the vampires.
I'm not parlaying, I'm surveying.
If you're coming with us, you're part of the parlay.
You parlay
the
and I
party
survey.
parlay.
Awesome.
You're gonna have to pick me or her, because I won't be in the company of a necromancer.
Oh, all right. Well, what level are you? Why am I still talking like Nero?
Because you're still Nero.
But I don't know. It doesn't change your voice. This is
You're
Thuvius'
doing
act.
it, yeah.
What are we doing?
It's also more fun than Thuvius' voice.
Who's gonna be more helpful in a city of undead? A necromancer or a paladin?
Quite frankly, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb.
That's...
The necromancer blends right in with the undead.
Alright, I see the flaw in my logic.
Listen. If it comes to blows, I'd rather have the paladin.
Yeah.
But if everything goes covertly,
accent too.
you know, then I mean, we want the
Do we have any
necromancer.
way to like survey first? Just
The spider doesn't go that far.
Well, they're vampires, so they can't go out during the day.
Oh, I just show up during the day.
Probably be very
Keep forgetting that. Like,
We can just show up during the day. I mean, what, can we just take the city during the day and then...
Theoretically. I don't know if 5 of us are going to be able to take down an army of vampires.
Well, it's 5 of us and the sun.
That's a very important 6th party member.
Very important.
do we have another?
Sun?
We have enough.
No, like we have the other orb thing, right?
Nate does.
Nate's
Nate
got
has
it.
the other orb thing.
How long till we can get in contact with Nate?
Like 3 hours.
Wouldn't, it would just be
No,
cool
I
if,
mean-
like we could enchant it in
I
some way to
mean,
make
how
it
long
like
till we
huge.
have contact with Michael?
Oh, next session, but he's
Oh.
coming back before this session ends.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't want to control 2 NPCs.
Yeah.
Well, I am
We attack in
I am
the day.
dumb tired
Yeah.
because I was sleeping when this house got attacked by fucking vampires. And there's also a little girl in there who definitely needs some comforting right now. So
Oh no, is it?
I'm gonna go take care of that.
In the rubble of the building?
Well, not the whole building is.
Oh,
Why
she's
did you go take care of that
Why are we
immediately?
still here?
Listen, I'm a fighter. I'm not a caregiver. I don't know.
You
how to do
just
this.
healed yourself.
I have 1 level in paladin.
Well, that
I have several levels in fighter.
Oh.
Hmm.
Go save the girl.
She doesn't need saving. And she sort of hobbles into the house.
So, now what? Let's talk about this in the morning. I need some sleep.
I think you and I are pretty good. Sleep-wise.
Oh, well, I didn't get. It was a.
I go back to
I didn't get my
yeah.
rest.
Yeah,
so it
no,
was
let's
only an hour and a half.
go sleep.
Cool. You all go to sleep. In the morning, when you come downstairs, Nate is eating some bacon in the town. He's like, "Oh, I got here early, so just to make sure things would be all right. I heard there was some commotion last night. I heard what happened. I'm sorry to hear that she was a good doctor, but that's what you expect from fucking vampires."
Did what to the vampires?
Oh my gosh.
Hell yeah.
So we going here? We going down there or what?
Yeah.
You see like an anger in his eyes that you're not used to from him.
I want to find that Samuel kid.
Samuel.
The golden haired?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is his deal?
he knew this was gonna happen.
Greg, who's holding his head from his like, oh, he left yesterday.
Do you know which way he went?
You watched him leave like I did.
Oh. I'm convinced he's not real. No, actually, you know, if Doovies isn't convinced that, I'm convinced he's not real. I'm convinced Samuel's not real.
Well, I talked to him the other night, and he seemed to be wise beyond his years.
No kidding.
It didn't seem malicious, but certainly not what he appeared to be.
So he's like gone.
I didn't see him on my journey here this morning.
Man.
He might have gone south.
Was he staying in a room?
Greg's like, yeah.
Can I go check out the room?
You go in. It's virtually untouched.
Okay.
Like the bed is made perfectly. There's not a lot of signs of somebody living here.
Nothing. Alright. I'm gonna go back down. Or can I look around more carefully?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
If you want.
I know. You're like, sure, fucking go for it. Yeah, a 4? I've cracked it, guys.
There's some dust in the corner, and that's fucking suspicious.
Oh. Alright, I go back down.
So what's the plan?
Remelas?
You don't seem particularly pleased to be going to Remelas.
Oh, I can't wait to get to Remelas.
See? Yep, it's the things like that that make me believe you're not pleased.
I got some scores to settle.
So you do want to go to Remelas?
Yes. That wasn't sarcasm. It was more of like an anger thing.
Alright, well.
Sorry, I've got it.
Right, you just feel
We're
like
of different generations.
You feel like an
Sometimes
entirely
it
new person this morning.
I wonder
I
why.
don't know. What are you like the equivalent of in human years?
I don't
Because he was saying like you're different generations.
know.
But what would you be the equivalent? No, but I guess technically.
No, right.
Do generations go by physical? No. Okay.
I mean, he's just from a completely different culture
Yeah.
too. So.
Yeah. But I am curious.
Well, I suppose I'd be maybe around my 30s, my 40s.
Oh, then we are different generations.
Yeah.
I'm maybe a third through my life at this point, so well, okay, so maybe that put me more than 20, 30.
I was gonna say, I wish late 30s were a third of the way through your life. It's just not having a good morning.
How'd getting supplies go?
Good. Stocked up. Not that anyone's gonna be able to use them. I mean, did she die? Did you watch her die?
No.
She was unconscious.
She got carried off, so it's.
We haven't seen a body.
If Erroneous is good, she's alive somewhere.
You know, also the creature wasn't affected by sunlight.
Yeah.
We already knew it
But
wasn't
we
a
knew it
vampire.
wasn't undead.
Right.
Didn't we determine it was a demon?
Via our
Oh.
research.
Right.
Yeah, in the library.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, stupid.
Why are the demons getting involved?
I think it's being summoned
By what?
or controlled.
By whom?
Or both.
Both.
But
I
why?
don't know. The vampire dude.
For what? It just killed a vampire.
Maybe it doesn't listen well.
I mean, perhaps a strong vampire doesn't really care if a vampire spawn.
They certainly don't. Well, I mean, it's a demon, right? They're chaotic by nature.
But why did it back off when it was about to advance on us?
Right.
Its master needed it.
When it backed off, was it looking at any of us in particular? Or okay, just
It like reacted, flinched and reacted, and sort of looked up and away, and flew off in that direction.
I think that we should go and we should take Henrietta with us, because I have a bad feeling if we go without her, we will return to the scene from our dreams.
Right.
I mean, as far as paladins are concerned, I think I can hold up my end of the bargain. We don't need Cora necessarily.
Not to mention, I fear what would happen if we crossed Henrietta more than Fora.
Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone does this one.
Yeah. So, to Henrietta and then to Remelas.
Are we ready for this?
Probably not. Do we leave? Do we perhaps wait and leave?
It's Tragadano-ish, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Morning.
Do we perhaps wait and leave in the very early morning when it's still dark, when it's still nighttime?
Yeah.
So as we arrive at Remelas, it is day?
So,
That's a good idea.
yeah.
We can take today to prepare then as well.
We should
Right, gather anything we might need.
Should
Shopping could be important.
probably travel
Yeah.
stealthily.
Right, yes. Although traveling at night is dangerous.
Right. Definitely don't want to be caught on the way.
I can sense when undead come near. So,
Alright.
who wants to get Henrietta? Doesn't really matter. We can do it all.
We should all.
Right, if we're leaving
There's
tomorrow
that
morning.
disgusting creature in the swamp that we were out. So.
Can
Oh.
she? Oh wait. Swamp is north.
Yep.
So we could just tell her to meet us at a.
What if we dealt with the swamp creature today and then headed out tomorrow?
Check that off the to-do list.
It's there.
True. Is that something we have to deal with, though?
No.
It seemed a little.
No, it's not.
Out
It's
of
just
our
elf.
league.
Yeah, it's just elf. You know.
Well,
Are you just mad that you got beaten by a vegetable? You don't want to go back.
well, if we do, I'm not going in the door first. That's for sure. Right. I don't know. Do you really think it's worth fighting the swamp lady?
No, we don't have to. It's just we have a day.
I want to find out more about it for.
About Remelas? The swamp
No,
lady.
the swamp lady.
I mean,
Before we.
likely they'll have information in Remelas
Yeah.
about the swamp lady.
They really have everything at this library.
Yeah.
It's a library of forgotten knowledge, is what she said. So
All right then.
Let's go tell Henrietta our plan.
cool. We can fast forward through that because it's you walk to the swamp and tell Henrietta, and she comes back with you.
Henrietta, be careful of the undead in
Do
town.
we have a?
Well, I was gonna just leave them here if that's okay.
Oh, good. Sure, it's fine.
All right. And she shoulders her coffin. Cool. So, what else do people want to do during this day? We can sort of rapid fire it.
Everything.
Yeah, I don't have
Just
any.
rest up, get well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna practice my Nero impression.
All right. Cool. Yeah, make a performance check to see how well you can get it.
You good?
Did you hit her in the eye with that?
I'm sorry.
Should I re-roll that?
Yeah, you absolutely should.
Pointing that thing around.
6.
Not great.
It's not great.
Not great.
Who knows if they've even ever met Nero before?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Can I
This guy's stuff only lasts an hour.
Can I, during this day, just talk with Greg a little bit, as best as I can, and try to ask if he had seen the Dragonborn passing through?
Sure. Yeah.
Because I've heard all those words before.
So you talk to him. He's like, no, I can't say I've seen a dragonborn in these parts for some time. Bronze, you say? I don't know. I even see there's travelers come through, but none that I've noticed. If he's been here, he hasn't made his presence known. I'll keep an eye out for you, though.
Thank you.
Cool. Anything else?
I'd like to ask just townsfolk about if they've encountered Samuel at all.
Yeah, for the most part, you get stories about him being a fair, like a nice, kind boy who will help out with like anything that people ask him to help out with. So if somebody's like clearly struggling with something, he'll come over and help. He's not particularly strong, but he does seem very kind-hearted, and a little odd, but not in an unpleasant way. Nobody got really very close to him at all.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming no, but did I ever stumble upon him in Worthnack?
Worthnack, yeah, you did not.
No. Anybody like him?
No, not the crowds you ran with.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Anything else? Are we ready to sleep and move on? Cool. Sleep and move on. What time are you waking up?
So we're trying to travel at night.
Right. I say we go to bed very early tonight. We wake up.
We wake up at like 9 p.m.
No.
How long does it take to get?
No. We wake up at like. How far is the gym?
I wrote it. It's a quarter-day journey on foot.
So we should wake up around midnight. So we're getting that dawn.
When you say quarter day, do you mean quarter awake day or like 6 hours?
Quarter. So it's like 4 hours.
4 hours. Okay.
Right, but if we're going to be moving stealthily, we're going to be traveling slowly. It's going to
That's
take
true.
Oh, that's true. All right. So yes, we could get up at midnight or perhaps 2 or.
If we go to bed at
1 or
if we
1
go
o'clock.
to bed at 4 p.m., then we could be fully rested. Like, for those of us who can't just meditate. We could,
Right. So.
I'm a grown boy and he's asleep.
We
Right,
could
yes.
elf time for 4 hours. And just-
Elf chat. Elf. Yeah. Well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wait. What? No.
All right. Well, I'm going to bed then. If we're just gonna do that.
Get some rest. Get some
Bedtime.
rest. Get some rest.
Get up around 1. Theoretically, get there by 5 a.m. John.
Right.
Right. Well, we'll probably end up going a little slower than that, but yeah.
Well, I was factoring in for the
Right.
stealth. And I got this cloak. And he just puts it over his armor.
We'll claim he's a Goliath.
Okay. It'll have to work. Even though they're most definitely going to ask to. Do you think they'll ask to search us?
How big is the sunlight orb?
Hmm?
How big is the sunlight orb? Ah, okay, so we can't hide that very well.
Put it in a
If
bag.
one,
Put it in a bag.
if one of us was a lady, we could just put it there and be like, "You can't search this. It's my baby."
It's true. It's really the problem with having no women in the party.
I cannot.
The only problem with that.
Where was what's her name when we need her?
Mel?
No, where's Mel when we
We
need her?
get Mel for
We
that.
have Marianne. We have Henrietta.
We have Henrietta.
Oh, true, Henrietta.
Who's there with you right now?
Henrietta.
Oh, wait, I was
I'm
like,
not
too
gonna do
bad we don't have the fucking.
Damn it, Henrietta.
Henrietta, you're going.
We all turn slowly to Henrietta.
What is Henrietta a human?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very pale for a human, but
Nonetheless, you're getting out of the swamp.
I know. You don't think the things that feed on blood can't hear heartbeats and won't heir the fact that there's a 2? Not 2?
Great point.
That was.
Wow.
I mean, I study undead for a living, so
Alright, sure.
Okay.
it's not really a living.
I just go up the stairs.
I'll go to bed.
I think I'm out of good ideas.
You wake up. In time. Cool. So everybody make stealth checks if you want to move stealthily. I'll roll for both Nate and Henrietta. And they're fine. No, Nate is a disadvantage. Stupid fail. Oh, he's fine. You're a fucking rogue.
I can't control a nat 1.
Well, luckily, the stealth is fairly unneeded as you are traveling like a very long distance. Nice. For a long time. Though, by the end, you're getting tired, and in the distance, you do see the city from a lot. And you're like, sort of, you're breathing heavily, because you didn't sleep enough, I guess.
I didn't meditate enough.
Didn't meditate quite enough. So, you get there. It is dawn this time. And you see in the distance what was once Remelas.
What?
Still a city. But as opposed to the sort of large metropolis it once was, so you all heard, it is now a strange, macabre structure. The city itself seems to have been covered in a giant iron dome. There are iron spikes just out all of the sides and across the dome, completely sealing the place off from the outside. It was once a walled city, and now it's just completely enclosed. The dome itself is smeared with blood and casts a dark shadow, a very menacing shadow on the ground in the pale dawn light. You can see on the very front there are about 13 corpses wearing Vanguard armor up on spikes just out in front of the place. And as you arrive, you see two figures standing out front, a half-orc woman and a human man, who are just leaning outside the city gates. Neither of them seem to be vampires. But as you approach, due to your one, they do see you in the distance. They don't approach you, but you can tell that they see you.
So it's just going to change our plans.
Do you have the banner out? Or do you have the banner furled?
I have it furled at the moment. I could.
Are you in disguise at this point?
No,
Ah, crap.
I'm not in disguise. No way with a nat 1 am I in disguise at this moment. Alright, I'm gonna unfurl the banner. As we move forward.
Sort of whisper to each other. The half-orc woman comes out. She's pulled a spear off of her back. The man has two daggers that he's just sort of juggling, playing with a little bit as they sort of walk towards you.
Flexing on us over there.
And they stop. They point their weapons at you once you're about 15 feet away from them, sort of indicating for you to stop.
I stop? Am I leading the party? Oh.
You have the bat.
I don't like this.
Are you here for work or to parlay?
I was told I was part of the parlay.
Oh, he's got the banner. All right. See them make it out of here. They turn around and sort of beckon for you to follow, keeping their weapons out. They go to the main gates and they ring a bell. And you hear some scurrying behind the doors as they open the bare minimum amount, and through it you can just see dark, dim light through it as the woman steps through the gate, and the man sort of arms crossed waits for you to follow her.
In we go. You'll like it. It's very dark in here.
Somehow I'm not comfortable. Maybe it's all the blood.
Oh, you think this is a lot of blood?
See, it's the things like that make me feel
Right, and so much for having the sunlight.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, right.
So you head in, and he follows you and closes the door behind you. Once inside, the place falls to a very dim light, and all immediately are hit by the stench and the temperature. This place is completely enclosed, so the heat is just radiating through this place. It is a muggy, grimy, sweaty area, and you smell flesh, rotting flesh all around you. As you enter in, you see hundreds of vampires walking through this city. It's fairly easy to tell the difference between the two types of creatures you've seen here. One of them are similar to the ones you saw last night, sort of pale, hunched over, emaciated figures that you recognize as vampire spawn. But you also see, walking amongst them, individuals that look like humans or elves, or in a rare case, a dragonborn, or simply very pale, baring their fangs. And as they walk through the crowds, the spawn just part for them. There's a clear social hierarchy here. Some of the spawn you see consuming corpses on the side of the road as you're walking through. The city structure has maintained itself, but there's just like blood smeared up most of the walls. People, vampire spawn, just like sitting on rooftops looking down at you. You, as a group, still holding the banner, have become quite a spectacle. We're here for the library. You hear growls, and you see just hungry stares looking at all of you. The energy of the place is macabre but subdued. It seems like most of these vampires are getting ready to sleep, to rest for the night. You will pass by what looks to be an old church of Palor, and the doors are open, and you see within about 200 living folk just sitting inside, pale-faced, eyes sort of glazed over. There are a couple of vampire spawn going past them. The knife man goes,
"That's the feeding grounds for the spawn. The better specimens are kept up in the manor for the real vampires. Careful not to end up there."
This isn't quite the right energy.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's like the song that you put on if all these vampires were like Halloween Draculas.
Is that not what we're supposed to be picturing? Just kind of picturing like the cover of Curse of Strahd, just repeated ad nauseum.
Yeah, that's it.
Hotel Transylvania. All
So-
these vampires are Adam Sandler.
No escaping this.
Oh no.
Turn my swamp encounter into Shrek. Turn my vampire encounter into Adam Sandler.
We're Andy Samberg.
Cool.
This
So
has
you-
been Dungeon Party.
You continue through, and you hear a very loud raucous racket, and you look over and you see an individual dressed pretty much exactly like the person that you fought with those flesh mounds, with that big long thing. But they are surrounded by creatures that seem to be in the process of changing into vampire spawn.
Gosh.
As you pass by Deacon, well, that's his name, you know it now. Knife Dude. What was that look? He says,
It's a woodmonger. That's where most of the spawn from here are. Funny secret about hoardmonger spawn. They're weaker than normal vampire spawn, but they're much more feral. Perfect for armies.
What are you, a tour guide?
I don't get to talk to people often. It's a lonely job. Pays well though. If you make it out of here alive, might consider it an employment opportunity.
Carry on.
Alright.
On to the tour.
cool. So you are taken to, you see signs in the town that say Bluestone Estate this direction. By the time you finally do see Bluestone Estate, which you assume is sort of the manor house of this city, the governing body, the stones don't look blue. They look a different color. The castle has been refitted with black iron spires.
Black? What
Red.
color? Oh.
Red! What do you fucking think? Blood zone right now. The tower, it's been fitted with these black iron spires to make it look more menacing, you assume. And most of the rooftops are actively on fire.
Why?
As you...
Why?
Why though?
as you reach...
No,
It will be explained! If you let me do my thing!
Excuse me, Deacon.
Mr. Tour Guide.
What's this?
The Sangueth likes to put on a show for guests.
So he burns his own city?
It's not his city. He's just here.
Interesting.
As you reach the stairs, which are sort of those curved stairs that go around a small tower in the center, you hear the sound of trickling, and you realize that the stairs are running. Blood just flows down them. The half-orc continues to lead you up one of them as you sort of trudge through the blood that's just like gouging into your ankles right now, and it's warm.
And I'm
Stop.
bare feet.
Oh. Yeah, it's not
I think
pleasant.
I am too. Oh no.
You have sandals? You're right, your sandals are
No,
Crocs.
You're
Yeah.
untouchable.
No.
Well, Nate is like, because of his socks and sandals situation. right now.
I like ever said like prestidigitate my feet clean as I lift them out.
No, I think in like my head,
You're
he's
taking
barefoot,
one-
but my mini technically
You're
does have-
taking one step every 6 seconds.
The deacon is just really frustratingly sad.
Alright, I'll do it at the end.
You reach the front doors, which sort of
need a
open on
shoe
their
shine.
own.
Is this the library?
No, this is the main.
Definitely not.
Why are we going here?
Yeah, this is
Negotiations.
We need access to.
We need a parlay before we can survey, before we can study in the library.
Deacon slits your throat.
Okay, well, that was oriented.
Next time on Dungeon Party.
Man, I really thought this was going to be cinematic.
You should have done it on a different session.
I guess. I didn't know this was going to happen. Anyway, so the doors open on their own, and you find yourself in a large hall. The half-orc woman says, "To the end, through the doors. Good luck."
Who's gonna? I'm assuming you're leading the negotiations.
Oh, I'm about to doom the world, aren't I?
It was just the 4 of us, 5 of us, Henrietta.
6.
6 and 8.
So I don't want you to feel too much pressure, but like this is a big deal.
Our lives are in
And-
your hands.
But like we did that little performance down there, and we were awesome.
Right. We
Remember
trapped
that?
a bunch of drunk college
Yeah,
students.
it's just a little bit trickier than that, and I inspire you. Sure.
Cool.
Use one of these, or you can use one of yours, but
Well, I'll ruin
Oh, I
I'll
think
ruin
your inspiration has worn off.
Yeah.
Because it's cool. Going for it?
Yeah, we just all walking in.
You enter into this main greeting hall.
Hang on, actually, before we go in. What's our goal?
To get into the library.
Library.
Can we
Right.
say we'd like the parlay?
Get into
wait,
the,
we have to say
Use-
why.
Use the library.
get into the library, but also, I mean,
We have to.
should we try to,
What?
I don't know, help with the war while we're here?
Feels out of our pay grade.
It seems out of our
I'll be
capability.
Okay.
Because
They're
I'm
gonna ask
searching.
us-
Right, we're gonna get here, and they're gonna be like, so you're here to parlay about the war, and then we're gonna be like, ah, no, we lied. Can we see the library?
Well, parlay doesn't necessarily mean the war. We're just here to negotiate for something, and it is.
We never said we were with the Sortilegium. We're not with the Sortilegium.
But, right.
They just let us in. We just walked in.
Right, we just
Right. We just
want access to the library.
But they're gonna ask us why.
Because we're researching Waterfowl.
and we're gonna have to do something for them.
Right, but when... Okay, we'll consider that when we get there. But I think if maybe things go bad, do we mention from the Sortilegium?
If things go bad, we break the orb.
Okay, no, well,
And we get on the
No,
horses.
because if we-
Oh wait, how many?
there's no way, there is no possible way we are going to make it from here all the way out the front door. No matter what horses we're on, no matter what sunlight we break here. So, I don't know what to do, honestly, at this point.
Well,
If
let's
things go bad, do we say we're part of the Sortilegium? Will that grant us any sort of immunity because they don't want to start a war with the Sortilegium?
I don't think they're afraid of the Sortilegium.
You don't think they are? Deacon, are you afraid of the Sortilegium?
Huh?
I thought Deacon was gone.
Yeah, they left.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They left.
No, I from my understanding, Thuvius knows that, like, the Sortilegium cut some kind of deal and backed off. Because they're not
It wasn't so much of a deal. They responded
a
to
threat. Yeah, they responded to a threat, meaning they're afraid of them. Like, I don't think the Sortilegium has any power here.
Okay, so it's not going to help us.
Well, shall we just get started?
There's only one way to go from here.
We need a signal for the orb.
Flash.
Oh, I can just message. Never mind. Alright. In we go.
You enter in what looks to have been once a large sort of entry hallway. Has been a little bit changed. It's filled now with the corpses of animals, owlbears, deer, wolves, hanging from the chandeliers that line this main entryway. So there's these horrifying like swings that you're walking between that are just hunks of animal. You reach the room to the audience chamber, and the door is already slightly open.
In we go.
Oh boy.
You open it up. The first thing you notice is that there seems to have once.
Oh, is that
There seems to have once been a large throne in this room. It is now crumbled and toppled to the ground. In its place, there is this strange cast iron contraption covered in bear fur, and a figure sitting upon it. He is a man, tall, pale, and elven looking, with long strawberry blonde hair that seems to sort of float around his head. His ears are pierced.
This seems like the right music.
Nope. His ears are heavily pierced, with one of them having like 6 or 7 hoops down one side, and the other one having a large chain ending in a spike off the other. And he was wearing, yeah, he's a vampire lord. He's wearing huge blood red plate mail with black spikes, emblazoned with ghostly faces that seem to slightly move. And as you enter, he goes, "My old friend, I spruced the..." You're not Nero.
No. Never claimed to be, and your guards let me in. You should get new ones.
Huh. I'll look into it.
In fact, I would say we pretty much all just walked into your city.
Good luck walking out. Come on in. You see, he's like lounging just very casually up in this chair. Close the door behind you.
I turn and I cast Silent Image to pull the door shut.
So it's not.
It's open, but it looks closed.
Okay. Make a sleight of hand to cast that without him noticing.
Oh, I mean, I'm turning and casting a spell, and the door's
Okay.
closing.
Okay, sure. I'll go with it.
Do you want me to sleight of hand?
No, it's fine. Well, I was expecting a parlay. But if you're not who I thought you were, maybe I'll just have a meal.
We would like to parlay of sorts.
That's less fun. Well, what do you want to parlay about, eh?
Why this shitty area in Nildor?
Wasn't my choice. I didn't start this war. I like to tell a story before I eat, so, you know how this war started? A lot of people say it was me. That's not the case. When this war started, I didn't have any memories. Remember that Cherubrosis incident that happened a few years back? I was off in the West Pride of Caerleone fighting giants, apparently. When, Sebastian von Mercath wasn't getting any responses to his incessant fucking check-ins. Seems my memory clone had a similar mind. Didn't want to check back in with them. I can't blame them. They always made me feel like an animal on a leash. Of course, that tyrannical despot
took that as a sign of war, and he attacked my ancestral home. It was here in Nildor, not hurting anybody. Just where I went after my escapades. He attacked it, took it over, started a war. When I came to and my memories were returned, the council had taken sides. Seemed like I wasn't the only one through with his living civilly. We're vampires. We're meant to rule this world, not hide in the shadows. I suppose I could have ended the war. I fucking hate that. I suppose I could have ended the war. After all, it was a misunderstanding.
Kills him.
Fucking hate that.
Wait, the bard kills.
No. I'm sorry.
I suppose I could have ended the war right there. But who am I to stop a good fight, eh? Why Nildor? Ask Mercath. Up in his ivory tower over on the other side of the world. A backbone of society. He's a vampire just like me. He's just too weak to take advantage of that. He's not even here. He sent his deputies to run a war for him. Well, he runs a country. Come on.
Why not take the fighting to him?
We've made some promises.
So you started a war with him.
He started a war with me.
He started a war with you, and now you're at war with some...
His forces. It's the council. It's the damn fucking council. This organization to keep us safe. It's keeping the world safe. We're fine. And I'm not the only one who's fed up with it. Got a lot of people on my side. People who agree with me that we should be calling the shots here, not bowing and kowtowing to a bunch of fucking wizards.
Like I said, we're not with the wizards.
I figured. No, I do have a soft spot for them. They could have killed me when I had no memories. They didn't. So I suppose I owe them, which is why I was gonna parlay with them. They're not here.
Oh, there's...
Whoever the fuck you are.
I'm sure they're still coming. We just got here first.
Well, what do you think you can offer me? What's gonna stop me from eating you right now?
We did uncover some literature about restoring memories.
Oh, mine are back. I'm good. I wish I could take back the time I spent when I didn't have memories. Hung out with these kids. It was a waste of my time, frankly. But
That hurts.
What?
That really hurts.
when you don't remember you're a powerful vampire lord, I guess what can you do?
He says kids and you think immediately it was me.
No, I was
older
just...
than you.
Oh.
Everyone's a fucking kid when you've been around as long as I have.
So what's your goal?
Sebastian's head. Destruction of the council. We can go back to living how we want to. And get rid of all these damn vampires spawn and just go back to the good old days. Before the council. Before the Kona Garmeda. I could just hunt.
There's that damn bard.
I could hunt.
Breaks out the musical number.
You know, and I can't wait. And he reaches behind his throne and pulls out a 16-year-old elven man, or a half-elven man.
Do you mind if I snap while we chat?
It doesn't matter what we say.
I mean, it's your house.
That it is. He's less sucking and more like chewing into the neck.
Save some for later.
To be perfectly honest, we only came here for a connection to the library.
Fucking place. I was advised, I wanted to burn it down, but I was advised
and not to destroy it.
You have an excellent bargaining chip with it.
What?
Well, let's say, suppose the war reaches a stalemate. No one pushes forward, no one pushes back, which, based on your agreement with the Sortilegium, seems to be where you are.
What do you know about my agreement with the Sortilegium, eh?
We know a lot of things. We have a lot of connections, don't we?
Well, clearly, I feel like not anyone would have known to bring my banner.
You should be more careful with losing these things.
Did they run off and try to hunt again?
Yes.
We have plenty of fucking blood bags here in the city. I don't know why they keep doing this. Is why I hate the Spawn, man.
They are a little out of control. And like I said, with us having information, well, there's some we might be able to give you in exchange for access to the library.
What?
I would need access to the library for me to give you information. Information for information. We'll be out of your hair as soon as we get it.
Or I could eat one of your fingers until you tell me the information. And, they're pretty long. I bet I could go 5 minutes on each one.
You could kill us. You wouldn't know what's hunting you, though.
Deception.
No. A giant creature flew down, killed a vampire, and vanished.
Persuasion. I like persuasion.
Persuasion, come on. 18.
Hunting me?
Hunting vampires.
Are you talking about the fucking Vanguard? I know about them.
No, not the van. Are you like mimicking someone else's laugh? No.
Henrietta's just like,
No, not the Vanguard. The creature.
Alright, you got me. I'm intrigued. And he throws the now, of course.
Like I said, just this group, access to the library. That's all we want. And then an exit from the city. Just this group.
That's where I was gonna get you.
Yeah, no, I remembered. We go to the library. We read up on what we want. Don't take anything. Don't let anybody in. We head out. You never see us again. In exchange, we tell you everything we know about this thing.
Alright, well, good enough deal. Shake on it?
Like I said, we go to the library. We leave. No trouble.
No trouble. If you give me that information, you're fine to go. Squelch as like the flesh from the guy you just ate.
Aww.
That's not what I'm worried about.
Go out, down the left, it's a spire, you can't miss it. Nah, man. Never had bird before. What a shame.
Would you like us to tell you what we know now, or
Oh, you'll tell me now?
after the library?
Smart boy.
Alright.
I gotta reset the blood fountain for when Nero actually comes.
Alright. Yeah.
I'll go
Alright.
before I change my fucking mind.
We're heading out. Do we have a deal?
Okay.
Alright.
I'm not a devil.
Alright. To the library, everyone?
Yep, quickly.
Cool.
Yeah. Quickly. We're hustling with the banner to the library.
You, at this point, you don't have the two guards with you, and so, like, the hordes of vampires get very, very close to you. But seeing as you have the banner, you are left well enough alone. You make your way through to a spire. This building seems to be the only one completely untouched. It's murky and foggy and gross, but there's no blood spatter on it. It is completely unchanged, unharmed, as opposed to the rest of the city. As you enter, it's a long spiral staircase up into the larger section of the tower. And when you get there, you are met by a very, very old halfling man with glasses.
Visitors, welcome to the library of Remelas. How can I help you?
Information on demons, information on artifacts, information on
Henrietta, whatever you needed.
whatever you need. Just need pretty much free access to the library if you don't mind.
Well,
And he gestures behind you. And this place is fairly large. Like, this is a large library.
demon things are...
I promised him all the info we know about the demon. I'll look more into the demon if you want to do your artifacts.
I do.
Demons are over in that direction up on the 3rd floor. Artifact, you might want to check over near the magical artifact section over there. What else were you looking for?
Can I look for information on racks?
What is Rax?
I'm just,
Demigod.
yeah, I'm just gonna regurgitate what Aragon said earlier that we overheard.
Down over that direction.
Nate is going to look into the Jorian bloodline.
Right. You looked into the demon before, didn't you?
Yeah.
What was the
Didn't I?
name we got for it? A scientific name?
You did.
Yeah.
I have it written.
Oh. Demonium
Chiroptera.
Chiroptera.
Chiroptera? Chiroptera.
Yeah.
Chiroptera. Demonium Chiroptera.
I had that written, but I completely forgot what it was for.
And then Henrietta just very quietly says, if you'll help me personally, I need some help. So he's like,
Alright. It's so good to see visitors in here. It's been quite some time. It's been dark for a while. So I assume that's why people weren't coming in, but...
He doesn't know. Anyway, I don't think he knows what's happening outside the library.
He doesn't need to know.
No.
I'll help you.
and she goes off, and you hear her say, anything you have about the arm and her? He's like,
Oh, yes.
and they go away.
Okay.
Cool. Investigation checks all around. Was that a 1, Winfield?
No, but it was a 2.
No, you know what? We need a better die.
Roll a 6.
Hope you guys didn't want any information about racks and the secret society.
We came all this way.
No.
Yeah, we can just say
Don't say that. It's okay. It's okay.
What is it?
It's a 13.
Alright. So you
Anything.
find your information quicker. You all find the information you're looking for.
Does it help
just
that I-
takes a long time.
Does it help that I have the feature researcher?
Well,
from
then you can get advantage if you want. It doesn't really matter. Frankly, it doesn't matter.
19.
Cool. So you find the information first. You were looking for the demon.
Yeah, anything related to Demonium Chiroptera.
So you find a passage in a book. Well, you're looking through books and you see like mentions of it, but not a lot of details. And you pick up a book, and you flip it open, and you get to a. There's no scientific names necessarily, but you flip to a certain page, and a piece of paper just falls out onto the ground. And you pick it up. This is a very, very old yellowed piece of
They
paper
gingerly pick it up.
with a small message scroll on it. It says, "For your consideration," and it's signed AD. And as you look at it, you see the spitting image of the demon that you've been facing.
AD. Where
Yeah,
did we hear
it's
that
the,
earlier today?
Secret
It's the
Society.
head of the
Secret
leader of the
Society.
secret society that the Dragonborn was talking about.
Right.
And you find it is bookmarking a passage about something called the Polbala, which looks exactly like the demon you've been facing off. Polbala. Polbawa. It has lists its strengths and weaknesses. They're great brute force fighters, and their huge wingspan makes them more agile than one would expect. And they have a very potent fear ability that they use to make their hunts more interesting. Their weaknesses, however, are their intelligence, which is laughably poor, and their hunger, which can only be satiated with rot spine, their favorite food. But they will make do with corpses if they have to. It's all coming together. All your half-leads are becoming one lead.
Wow, Michael is gonna be so lost.
Wait, they love
so what
their
time
favorite
is it?
food is
Rot
oh
spine.
my gosh.
They are physically unable to ignore the smell of rot spine.
Oh my.
And unless specifically commanded not to by someone who has their demonic amulet, they cannot ignore eating it. It is like an instinct primal thing. There's a theory down below it that says because of their tiny brain capacity and rot spine's sort of memory augmenting abilities, it gives them a high that is indescribable, and they're completely addicted to it.
So they can be controlled with an amulet.
All demons can. You've learned from your research. Not all demons have a demonic amulet. They have to make one. The benefit for making a demonic amulet is if they die in the abyss, they don't die permanently. Their essence just goes back to the amulet. But if somebody has their amulet and their true name, they can control them.
Did you see the
True name to summon, amulet to control. As opposed to devils, where if you know their true name, you can just control them. Demons, since they're chaotic, isn't that quite as easy. Cool. So that's what you were looking. You were looking for artifacts. Takes you a lot longer, but you find similar info to that you found in the thing. But you also find a recipe. At the top, it says "Hortifact of Youth," and the rest of the text is written in Elven script, but using words in languages that are not Elven. It is encoded, heavily encoded.
I take it with me.
Yeah, it's just a piece of paper.
Yeah, can I? Never mind. I was gonna say, can I take the book and the piece of paper with me?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can put it in your bags.
I'll bring it.
It's encoded. Is it encoded like just lots of different languages, or is it actually like?
It's hard to tell because you don't speak all of the languages on there. It is an Elven script, and some of the words in Elven the letters are changed around.
So here's a question. Actually, out of game question. If I have the spell scroll Tongues, which lets me understand all spoken language, I cast Tongues and then read it out loud.
No, you'd have to comprehend written language.
Gotcha. Which I do not have. Alright, I'll take it with me.
Cool. You were looking for information about Rax.
Yeah.
The only thing you're able to find is a brief mention that he was a son of Bahamut, one of the only sons of Bahamut, and he didn't live long. Because as most demigods in the world, he was destroyed rather quickly because of the amount of power that they have. Like demigods, you learn, are generally incredibly frowned upon in the world because they just hold too much power to be able to allowed to exist. And most of them, even if they come from good, aligned gods, the power will go to their head and they will end up poorly. Rax, however, seems to die amicably. He was one of the good ones, but he wasn't alive for long. That's all you can find. And you were looking for...
I think I was just helping. I don't think I was looking for anything specifically.
The recipe for the magic vape.
Yeah.
Magic vape.
Nate comes back just with a lot of information. He's taking notes. And Henrietta comes back with a very, very, extremely grim look on her face. More than usual.
Everything all right?
Yeah. I found what I was looking for, but I was hoping not to.
Sorry.
Is there anything else you guys want to research? At this point, you've been here because of your roles. I'll say you've been here for 2.5 hours at this point. Or probably longer than that, frankly.
Well,
5 hours. You've been here for 5 hours.
Okay, so we don't know for sure if this demon is hunting the vampires or if it's just hunting indiscriminately.
Either way, it will impact his forces. I mean, if he's walking around with a bunch of vampire spawn and this thing eats dead creatures, corpses, it will come for him.
The one thing you missed when you were gone, there was a note in the book from AD marking the demon, right? That
Marking the page of the demon, yeah.
Yeah. That,
For your consideration.
yeah.
We only
So
give
he
him
could be-
we give him information piecemeal. We tell him what's hunting them. We tell him why it's important. If he still doesn't want to let us go, we wager that we know who found it. If that still doesn't work, we suggest we have a way to maybe distract it. If we can get our hands on some of that produce.
Right.
And if that doesn't work, orb and run.
Nate sort of taps his side.
Right. I have 2 horses.
Right.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us.
I also have an idea to maybe if things get really hairy, we all have some tricks up our sleeves. Hopefully.
It's a city full of vampires. But okay, we'll try it, I suppose.
Suddenly the room gets foggy.
Oh!
Finn, you vaping?
What?
Hello?
No, you guys took that from me.
Mist starts to swirl, like, in the center of your little huddle.
Oh.
I
Hello,
step back.
Rylan.
And as you step back, it forms into your bud, Rylan, who stands a good, 2 feet taller than any of you.
Wait, who?
Vampire Lord.
Yeah, Rylan.
Sorry.
Rylan.
Find the answers you were looking for?
Yes. I think we have the information for you.
Oh. Yeah. About that. I realized, I don't care.
You don't care?
This is great music.
You don't. You don't. You don't.
Sorry.
Oh my god!
You don't care that you're being hunted.
Not really. It's kind of exciting, don't you think?
You don't care that the demons are getting involved.
Demons. Oh, you mean that fucking bat thing? Is that what you were talking about?
No.
No.
The page is open.
Yes. Yes.
Oh. Well, that's not much of information, is it?
Well, it's going to impact your hordes.
Will it?
We also know the organization that is attempting to summon it.
Good for
Who
them.
controls it? Who might be sending it after your prey?
I haven't noticed. My prey is Sebastian von Markath. Everything else, who cares? But regardless, since you're clever, and I'm not a complete bastard, what time is it? Doesn't look at his watch. He sort of looks out, he's like,
Looks out at the sun to see what time it is.
well, no, just looks out of the window and realizes he can't.
Oof! What a high int enemy we're up against
I
here.
stifle.
That is not his strong suit.
Note to self.
Yeah, 3 hours.
What?
Well, that's a head start.
3 hours.
And that's where I'll end this session of Dungeon Party.
Alrighty then.
Got a lot of answers today. Hopefully, we'll make use of them.
Hopefully we can get out and make use of them.
Yeah, 3 hours.
We have to go back to the hag.
You don't know it's a hack. It might just be
It's
fucking
pretty
Shrek.
it was gonna be a hag, but now
It's gonna be Shrek. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching. Do that, subscribe to stuff, tell your friends.
Ring the bell.
Ring that bell, ding ding.
Ring that bell.
Thanks for partying
Ring
with
that
us in the
bell.
dungeon. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.